Hi, everybody. Al Bernstein here with another one of my quick hits. And on this one, we're going to talk about a battle for a vacant 140-pound title, a WBC title to be exact, in which Lucas Matthysse will take on Viktor Postol. Now, this is a fight to be held on October 3rd that I think is an intriguing matchup. Of course, Lucas Matthysse in any matchup is fun to watch because we've seen him in great fights in the past. And the man he's taking on, that you see there, Viktor Postol, is no one to be trifled with. He's undefeated, and he's an Eastern European fighter who has a really good skill set. And sometimes we underestimate fighters when we're not familiar with them. We certainly know Lucas Matthysse. He's been in a number of high-profile fights at 140 pounds, failed in his last attempt to win the title against Danny Garcia, but has worked his way back. And in his last fight against Ruslan Provodnikov, he fought a war. It was a war of attrition, and at the end of the day, Lucas Matthysse was able to get the decision win, though at considerable cost, because he took some powerful punches from Provodnikov. And when you add to that the fight he had with John Molina a couple before that, in which he was down twice, and it was difficult. He's been in enough wars now to where some people may have in their brain that Lucas Matthysse could be slightly diminished. He's certainly a big, powerful puncher still. Now, the man he's facing, Viktor Postol, who I mentioned he's undefeated, he is a very sound fighter. He has very good offensive skill set. He knows how to box. He knows how to fight. And he's got some pop in his punches. And, we used to think Lucas Matthyse's chin was impregnable, but then Danny Garcia knocked him down. Molina knocked him down a couple times. Provodnikov had him shaken. And now we realize that Lucas Matthysse is not Superman when it comes to his chin. So Postol hoping that he will be the one that does some true damage to Matthysse and can maybe even stop him. Let's look at the keys to victory with that in mind, and we will begin with Viktor Postol, who comes into this fight, as I said, with a really good offensive skill set. Now, he has a height and reach advantage over Matthysse, as is often the case in Matthyse's fights, and he needs to fight tall. Can't bend in and make himself an easier target for Matthysse. The lazy jab could be an issue for him because if he once in a while will do that. And if he does that and leaves that jab out there, Matthysse will come with that big overhand right. Matthysse has power in two punches, the overhand right and the left hook, but the overhand right in that case could land. One of the, I think, wild cards in this fight is that Postol has a very good uppercut. He showed that against Selçuk Aydin in his fight where he got to, that led him into this world title fight and hurt Aydin and knocked him out really with that punch. And so the uppercut could be a very important weapon for him. As for Lucas Matthysse, the Argentine fighter who has given us so many exciting moments, when he remembers, if you will, to use the jab, when he uses it as his mechanism to come inside, it does a couple of things. One, it's a punishing punch. And number two, it keeps him on balance better to throw his power shots. So the jab is very important for him. Postol will give him some movement. And Lucas Matthysse, interestingly, he's fought a lot of boxers, going all the way back to fighting the Zab Judas of the world and Devin Alexander, who boxed him. But sometimes he follows fighters around the ring. He doesn't cut the ring off as well as he would like. And so he needs to cut off the ring, not follow Postol around. The overhand right, I mentioned there's two big power punches from Matthysse. Both are potential knockout punches. Got a great left hook, but overhand right is also a huge weapon for him. In this particular fight, I think the overhand right is probably going to be his weapon of choice and the one that will likely land against Postol. Maybe when Postol's throwing that uppercut, if he throws it from a little too far out, or if Postol, as I mentioned, is lazy with his jab, the Matthysse right hand can come over the top. Boxing has, in my mind, an embarrassment of riches in terms of talented fighters from 140 up through 154 pounds in those weight divisions. And this fight is an example of that because we have very, very good, two really good fighters here. And the winner of this fight, not to jump too far ahead, is mandated to fight Amir Imam, a fighter that I've had the privilege of calling several times on Showtime, who is a terrific 140-pounder. So whoever wins this fight doesn't get an easy walk in the park their next time out of the box. So a demonstration that there's talent at this weight class and throughout several of those weight classes in the sport of boxing. So we're looking forward to this fight on October 3rd. I'm Al Bernstein. Join us next time for the Quick Hits.